All right, Devon Tilley here, recording May 5th of 2026. This is the video to launch to build out the future golf course that you see on the screen here. On the left is the short course with all of the numbers and the names of all the signs that are all set up. This little mini course going to stay there and be there. And we're taking, and then the kind of couple of these four holes are staying the same. Then these are a medium loop and then the long loop. And so it's kind of this whole short, medium, long loop that we've been figuring out and working out all these different options over the years. So there's lots of different documents I've been thinking and building out and putting all this stuff together to then put the right structures in the building and put all this stuff together. So we're going to focus in on each one of these holes and the short course and the long course of all coming together. So here are those pictures that are on the scorecards that on the short course. So the focus is having the golf flow around the structures of it's going to actually go this way. So we have plenty of room, and the whole thing is kind of designed around this perimeter road that you'll see on all of these little tracks of taking the existing roads and putting all this stuff together. So caretaker, the shop, and kind of coming in of this roundabout for this next structure. You'll see as things evolved on the longer course of like these open grounds here could be more kind of camping and the event centers and stuff in the middle area. And this area here, I think we don't need as well. So trying to really be smart about where we put the artificial turf. So on the short course, you have number one always has, this is Legacy Launch, Greg Devon, number one. Number two, this is where the short course is here, and then the medium course, this medium loop. So short loop, medium loop, long loop. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So here's the OG Turkey Toe Link short course. Here is the expanded from 2025 of the kind of medium loop, and we're going to talk through each hole. So one the same, two, instead of going to this short one here, it now goes all the way out. And then three, instead of the short one, is the long one. So 2, 3, and then 4 is this long one all the way back. That's what little shorty 5 always, this is where we get a lot of hole-in-ones, always the same. And then 6 comes all the way back again. So this is where we expanded last time of 7 was our first par 5, where we did all of this build out. And then 8 is the haystack that will stay the same from last year. And then number 9 is where we came back and finished everything of the medium loop, which we can keep those signs and kind of have the medium loop. So short, medium, and then, but here we're now expanding into the long. So number 9, instead of going back, now goes running down. And then this is the big build out we're doing in 2026, is getting this golf to come around here. So number 9 is a dog leg left. So you're going to hit out to here, and we want a hitting away from the highway and the fence and everything. So this big area down here becomes the big kind of workout zone this year. So number 9 is the layup to here, and then 10, and this is where there's this big hill. So we want to be able to have this path come up the hill, and this tee box is this elevated tee, 10 to 11, then 12, 13, coming back to this short one, 14, 15, 16, and then 17, and then 18 to end back at the beginning. So there's the long course on a map. Let's go through each hole. So again, number 1, Legacy Launch is your launching, here over the shop. And what I've done of all these is just took a bunch of stuff together from the scorecard of what the par, the distance, and kind of the traps and all the different views, and then also took all of the drone footage and showed ball flight. So did I best to try to get a drone and find images so you see where you're going to tee off here 90 yards real high. So this really helps set up if you really know golf. If not, you go around, and then we also have the juniors or women's that skips all this stuff. So other tee boxes over time to help flow, but keeping this to consistency for the standard golf of Legacy launch. And then we also have all the drone stuff that we did, that you can watch videos and stuff, but I took those clips from the drone stuff. So that's all in a YouTube channel. So in my YouTube channel, it's either my personal Art of Construction, but like I put these in Art of Construction where you can view the full playlist and see all of these holes of the turkey toe golf construction flyover there. So that's where the screenshot is as a reference to pull all this stuff together, and can put links to that in the YouTube channel. All right, so there's number one, and then number two, and I have this logo to help understand. Actually, this should be 2L, but you'll see it the rest of them. So two is where you're here, 312 yards. Here's the tee box heading off. There's a rendering. Here's the par 4, 312. So you're teeing off here, and then the ball is coming in. And this is where we put a bunch of grass out last year, and to keep testing the waters of tee boxes. I think we want to make them a little bit bigger for lefties and righties, and managing the signs that are permanent signs there, where we did the long added to that, and adjusting this stuff together. Then number three is 179 yards, Arrowhead Stinger missile. So it's the short one. Is similar, but this is the one all the way back at the highway. So you go to two, then you come and you tee off down the highway, 179 yards. So you tee off down the highway, and it lands on that. This is from the highway looking down at it there. So here you see the full shot. Number four, Sangres, and so the short course and the long course, just a longer 202 yards. You see the sign there. So that's where we got to work on when we get down to, I'm going to be making all these other signs for this as we lay this all out. So number four is you're in this back corner. Number five, don't sweat it. This one stays the same. It's a little shorty hole, 79 yards, and the tee box. This is where we've been testing. Instead of adding more tee boxes, just use the greens to help with management system. So that's what we did here, and this is just a little 79-yard hole. Number six, the Death March on the long one, and so the short one goes to this one, and then the long coming here, or the medium loop, 227 yards. So you're teeing off here, and then it's coming in. We opened up a lot of this area last year. We're thinking about putting like a hill and more obstacles, and figuring out over time as things adjust here for this hole. But that it's this really trying to find a way to not have a driver, but also not going so short. It's a tricky little hole. And on to number seven that we added last year is the high side here. You see me from the drone videos, you know, misspelling, continuing to figure that. So 322 yards from the top, coming all the way down here. There's the rendering, par 4, and so you're teeing up. And then this big infinity green to rework with other holes again this year. Number 8, Generations. Teeing off from that we built this hole last year as Generations is the short one. The Haystack is the medium and long. It will be the same for both medium and long. 169 yards, where you're teeing off number 8 here. You see the 169 and hitting up and coming in. So these names are only for the short course, and the foundation for future will be different names, and that's what all ties into these TBDs from the short course names here. All right, number 9, and you see the L, and that's where I'm playing around with the 9S, medium and long, of giving options of how to play. But number 9 is where we're now changing from the medium course of heading back to the original number 1. And here's where you see number 9, instead of heading back, we're now heading down the highway. And this is a dog leg left, where so you see these where overall, it's this monster hole of 534 yards straight, but nobody can hit it that far. And so it's laid out to this 275 yards to then 262 yards if you go this route. So it's kind of this to where we got to build the landing area and this. And so there's where you see this kind of landing area and then down to the green, and keep this plenty of distance away from the highway. And then we go on to number 10. So there's number 9. I made some other renderings here to help us paint the picture of this, to see here it is coming in to number 9 at the bottom of the hill. This is where the green, and then this tee box sitting at the top for number 10, and have this perimeter road coming up, and then also kind of this road all looping together up to the top of the hill. So to help, I also did a side view here to see how this hill, you can now see this elevation where, this at the top is really dropping. And so that's where we got to stand up here, level this area up enough. I kind of have this vision of having like one of the wagons I bought, or a platform kind of coming in. It's kind of this platform that you're teeing off of, the kind of a hay wagon out here, instead of a bunch of dirt work. So kind of keeping this natural vegetation all put together here. To say here you see number 10 up at the top, and you 260 yards, par 4. This is one where, and I also want to make sure we keep this green, that originally this is where all the event center is, but I want to keep this back enough so we're not blasting balls over this fence. I did put a gate in here, so you can, go in and out if you need to, but trying to keep balls to come into here. So you blast enough driver off of the deck here of the hay wagon of 260 yards, number 10 long. Number 11 is a dogleg left. You see the two holes, the two shots here. So this kind of running down the road, perimeter road, and kind of this hole. So the concept is like the track and the road coming around here, and the event center maybe sits further back if that is. So this box is kind of showing that. So you're going to drive 275 yards here, and then another 258 in. So these are some killer holes of hitting 275 yards and 258 yards, and trying to have some risk reward where you could, remember, you can adjust your ball on your 3-wood to make that happen. Number 12 is cutting back over to the center area of the infinity green. So this is where we got to work this backside of like paths and how balls coming back across. So a par 4, 251 yards. I kind of want to make a layup area to where these are like short on distance, but like a driver, you're going to have to bomb it all the way over the ravine and get all the way to the other side to have a nice shot. Or most of the drivers, I think, are going to come and eat into this. If they go driver or go safe, we need to make a layup zone to make it safe of number 12. So either you're going driver or you're laying up, dink, dink. 13 long. So here we're back to we're using that green from the original number 2 of the shorties course. So here you see that green of 265 yard par 4, and you're launching off a new tee box or off of the infinity green of number 13, par 4, 265. Number 14 long, here it is, kind of back hitting over. We've kind of using these electrical poles as markers. So we're just going to be on this green or off to the side of this green of number 14, 184 yards, par, or 126 yards, par 3. I see conflicting information here, but we must have shot. And so this is also where I just keep double checking all of these distances, and this is where I'm using Google Earth to have all of these reference points to say we are on number 14 long, and I have all of these distances of saying 14 long here, 14T to then 14 green is here, and this is a new green we're thinking about building. Or should we? Because I kind of wanted to go over the ravine again, so